Hello and welcome back to my channel Vishal VFX. Uh, Today in this Ghost Rider series we're gonna texture this skull and the neck area, and as well as we're gonna do some lighting work so that we can proceed further in our for the FX stage. So we'll proceed for the FX stage. So let's get started over here. So as you can see we have skull and this. So I have already created the texture map for this. So what I'm gonna do is just take a blend and apply on both of them. So select assign material. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good. We'll go in blend and go to file. So we have this. I've just created a rough, really rough kind of like a quick one texture for this, and we'll add bump map as well. So we'll go here and add bump. So let us just create lighting. So now you can see we have a directional light which must hit from. Okay, sorry. Which must hit from this direction to the skull, slightly like this, and we're gonna control D over here so that bounce light is there. So I'll just go and change the bounce light value to 0.4, something like this, and if needed you can add a rim light as well. And the value must be around 1.5, not more than that. Yeah, so I'll just say this not to use trace shadow. No, don't create any kind of shadow for me right now. I just want this one to create the shadow. Okay, so the lighting, the 3 point lighting is done right now. Now what I'm gonna do is just go in mental ray and come on. Okay, it's here. No. Just a second, something is wrong. Yeah, okay, there was something wrong. Yeah, cool. So I'll just check the global and final gathering, both of them. Okay, and I'll okay, so now that is checked, we'll go in ray tracing that yeah, this is also on so that we can create the shadow, and we'll just set up everything, the gr to and this to HD 720, maintain width and height and aspect ratio. You can just come here and just change from TIFF to OpenEXR, and name dot extension dot etc, that whatever you're choosing, so that you get gr dot 000.01. So this is our gr, what that what I'm calling it right now, Ghost Rider. And let's just hit a render for us. Okay, there's too much of bump map, and we need to reduce this bump value, so we'll go in hypershade, bump, and we'll create it to zero point 0.1, not more than that, I think so. Come on, come on. So this is what we have right now, and as you can see we have texture and everything, but the reflect the specular is too much on this shader. So what we are supposed to kill this specular, because this is too much shiny right now, which must not be there. So we'll go in blend as well now, and we can go like open this IPR and select this much of region, so simultaneously we can work on that also. So we'll reduce the specular color. So now you can see we have reduced the specular on our skull, which is quite good. And reflective, there is nothing to reflect, so not to worry about that too much. And like a specular roll off slightly less, so that if the specs hits, so there shouldn't be any much of too much of roll off. Mostly what is the idea, just to try to keep it as much as simple, because on top of it there would be fire, so the spec is no also is of no use for us, really less use. So I'll just have it slightly more, so that we can just go in comp, and with the help of passes we can just tweak them slightly. So we're just gonna keep slightly right now. Yeah, this much is okay. So we have texture, and there is some kind of good amount, so this is good. And now we can proceed to our FumeFX. So what we are supposed to do right now, this is like a good level for us. We'll go to FumeFX. So for FumeFX, what I'm gonna do, take Fume. In case if your mental ray is not rendering FumeFX, the only thing you need to do is copy the shader. Like I'll just give you an idea. What is it? So you can go in C drive, program file, Autodesk, Maya 2014. So you might have the shaders over here. You can just copy everything from here to outside of here, over here, and paste everything over here, so that mental ray, and reset the Maya. So FumeFX will render your scene with the with in mental ray. So I've taken this FumeFX grid and FumeFX object source. So I'll just place it according to a scene, which is this. So this is okay for me. Camera is there. Okay. So now what I'm supposed to do is take reduce the length, and will like height is okay. We can just slightly work on width as well, like this much width. Yeah, cool. So further what I'm gonna do is just reduce the spacing to 0.3 for now, which is cool. And I'll just set a path for us, so that right now this is default. I'll just go and cache. I will create FumeFX, open FF. So that FumeFX, nothing else. So I'll just set the start frame to -30, so that my fire is emitted like before only. So the first frame already has fire. And let us just assign this to object, to our object source. We'll take this and take this, attach. So right now they both are attached to it. So we'll just quickly set everything. So let's change the turbulence to 5, system gravity to like almost 2. Let's keep the vorticity and like just a little bit of turbulence, not too much of turbulence. And simulate fuel, yeah, I want the burn rate to be around 15, which is like if you keep the less burn rate, then more fire would emit. If you keep the higher burn rate, the less fire would emit. And fuel bounce is okay, and expansion definitely okay. Let's just see how's it looking. Okay, let us just simulate this. So now you can see the fire started emitting. We need to check the behavior of the fire, so that further we can just tweak. So the fire is emitting quite well. Let this thing get cache. So as you can see, I've just let it cache till 20 frame, so that it was consuming too much of time. But you can see that fire is emitting really good in shape, but it's going yeah, this is what I needed. So we just need to fix first do some fix on the fire opacity, and let's just add a texture so that a fire is much more visible to us. And let's reduce the brightness of the fire because we want much detail from the fire. And yeah, opacity just slightly like this. Do smoke, cast shadow, receive shadow, yes. So we'll go in fuel now and increase the burn rate to 20. Expansion is okay. Just let us hit one render. Well, this was about to take time. So you can see the fire is really less over here. That's why I rendered it, so I can get a rough idea of what is happening. So let us just reduce the burn rate like to 10. I want more burning, and we'll go in here and delete this. Okay, increase the burn rate that which it was. And just sorry. Just creating the pattern for our fire. Smoke is like low threshold. We need to change the smoke color as well to like more dark. Darker smoke. And we'll go in smoke, and this is okay. Fuel burns, let's just increase the fuel burns to 1. And where is gravity? Let's just reduce the gravity value to 1.5 and spacing to 1.4, so that we just simulate too much quickly. So right now I've reduced the gravity, which will help us to keep the fire at low. which was going too much up. So this will be really less over here. And we have increased the fuel buoyancy, which will have to go like give this flame much bigger, like this. It will go much more up. So now you can see that we have a pretty much good fire. Suppose if your film gets crashed at a certain point, and the negative point about FumeFX is that when you try to continue your simulation, then it just will continue from 10. Like if it's the frame is between 14, then it will continue from 10, not from 14. The simulation would start from 10. That's the negative point of FumeFX. That's okay. Let us just stop right now, and 20 frame is okay. So we'll just check the, yeah, fire is going good. We'll reduce the bounce to -1 then. Let us just simulate it once again. And increase the burn rate so that around 18, I think so. It's not behaving the way we want. It's just a matter of certain tweaks, and we need to do it. This is good. It's going good, and we can add details and texture as well. Even there is certain kind of detail over here which will help us in further in comp. And we need, like, once we change the spacing of our FumeFX, definitely we will get a much better result. But of course it will take too much of time for us, like for simulation. Let me stop it. So yeah, this is good. The best thing is that being a compositor, it's really like a plus point for you guys, that we know that what are the limitations, that we can change the fire further in stage. Like for a fact, just let me hit a render. So for a fact, I know that the color of the fire I can change it the way I want. Definitely everything, the scene is getting illuminated by this only. But like there is no need for me to do this stuff. Like I'll just can further in comp, I can just tweak them with the opacity and everything if I keep it like this. So now you can see the fire actually it's getting burned. This is what we can get. So if we just go in luminance now, we can just check how much bright it is, and it can create a clamp issue or something. So that's why I'm just trying to get it really less, but definitely we can just do something. So that's why this thing is there to get certainly to work on our opacity of fire. Come on, man. Yes. I need it to be real close to get this detail. As you can see the changes over there. Yes. Now let us just check. So now you can see we have much more of detail, and nothing is burning out. The fire has detail right now. So try to get this thing only, like if you just go in luminosity, so that's what we need. So once we have this certain kind of thing, this texture in like this alpha in nuke, then it's really easy for us to add details and everything. Okay, all channel, yes, definitely good one. And I'll just try to get it slightly over here only, and we'll work on now opacity slightly if needed to add slight bit of. Okay, that's okay. And as you can see that the once I increase, the glow starts to get. Yes, I just needed those things on neck area to be much brighter, so that it feels like the source is from there only. And slightly more towards his head, and like this much is okay. Let us just hit render. So I've just created that glow of fire, which is really important. Let's check in luminance that nothing is getting burned. Nothing is getting burned, which is really good. So we can take this to the further stage. Before simulate, we need to simulate this, and then we'll go for rendering and setting up the renders layer. I'm just gonna do it really like with a good example how you can just set up your renders layers. So I just need to do a simulation right now, so I'll just go over here and just check what is the simulation my system can take. So this much is okay. My system can take up to 1.8 or 38. Yes, 1.8 would be much better. Of course this includes render time as well, so this will take a really good amount of time. The more the less spacing you have, the it's just gonna take much more time. So I think so that the grid size is okay for this, like 0.5 0.15, which is really good for me. And I'll just hit a simulation, and the systems goes for simulation, control save, everything is saved. Now it will definitely take time. So I hope you like this video, and please guys do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon. See you next video.